It's about the people of Tacoma, and it's about building community. It's about a group of artists who just want to spread joy and give hope. I'm a member of the Monkeyshines project, which started in 2003. Our objective was to bring joy and hope to Tacoma and build the community through placing artworks around the city. Monkeyshines started with Mr. Monkey and I blowing glass in a shop similar to this. It had been a really rainy year and with lots of tragic news, and we were just both very tired of hearing bad news and decided to create some good news of our own. We just thought, oh, we'll make a couple of glass objects and hide them, and then we'll follow people and watch them find them, and we'll get all excited and they'll get all excited, and it'll be a lot of fun. So it turned into a group of about 25 people creating over 200 works of art. Someone had a stamp of a monkey, and we stamped our art objects with the monkey. We ran out of time before Christmas of that year, and we were looking for the next holiday to distribute our work. It was Chinese New Year, and we wondered what the odds were that it was the year of the monkey, and it was, and that's how Monkeyshines started to become a Chinese New Year tradition in Tacoma. What makes it a really uniquely Tacoma project? Tacoma wants to get involved. We started just hiding our little glass projects 13 years ago. The next year somebody said, are you going to do it again? More people started to randomly create their own art and put it out in public as well. And that was really exciting for us. It really spoke to community and engagement and involvement, things that I think had only happened in Tacoma. The rules are really simple. There's no better way to make an enemy than to post on Facebook that you found 4 Monkeyshines. If you find something, you can keep looking, but if you find something else, hide the one that you don't want. Don't just give it to a friend, but hide it and let somebody else have the opportunity to find that themselves. But the real important message about the Monkeyshines project isn't about finding an object. It's about getting together with your friends and family. It's about creating a tradition. It's about excitement, childlike wonder and discovery, making friends and saying hello to strangers, and really thinking about what it is that you can do to add to the magic of the year. That's the gift the Monkeys would like to encourage you to do in the next 12-year cycle. This is the key of the whole Monkeyshines project. The treasure is the hope and the time you spend with your friends and family. The treasure is meeting people that you normally wouldn't meet in your day-to-day adventures and just feeling connected to the community. If you happen to find a piece of art, well, that's just a bonus.
My name is Hashiguchi, and I consider myself a theatrical producer. About 4 years ago, my husband and I started Dukes Bay Productions, which is an independent theater company here in Tacoma. And our mission statement is to incorporate as many actors of color and of all ethnicities as we can on the stage. Our other mission is to promote independent theater here in Tacoma. My husband and I are the producers. My husband also directs. I'm also an actor. We only do 2 shows a year because we're both retired and we don't really want to be that busy. One of our shows that we do every spring is a long-running situation comedy for the stage. It's called Java Tacoma, and it takes place in a fictional coffee shop. It's sort of like the TV show Cheers, which took place in a bar, only our comedy takes place in a coffee shop. one of the roles in the show, the owner of the coffee shop, is played by me. And it's sort of one of the luxuries of being a theater producer is that you can write something for yourself, put it on stage, and voila, you're an actor. And I consider coffee to be a very Pacific Northwest sort of a thing, even though people all over the world drink coffee, but we in the Pacific Northwest are famous for our obsession with coffee. And so every morning I come to the Stadium Tully's to get my soy milk latte, and it occurred to me that when I go to Tully's, or any kind of coffee shop for that matter, I see people of all races, both genders, all ages. I mean, it really shows off the diversity of Tacoma. To showcase the diversity of actors here in Tacoma, what better way than to create a comedy that takes place in a coffee shop?
ETC got started because Umi and I, in high school, we had put together a brand. So it had kind of transitioned from a brand in high school to a brand in college, and then we kind of jumped into the real world, and then we had finally decided, well, if we're gonna go ahead and run with this, the time to do it is now.
T-shirts had become something that everyone had begun to do, so we decided, how do we make ourselves different? And we jumped into accessories. And accessories kind of breeds where etc. comes from, because I mean, like the extras, things that weren't necessarily, that are not necessity, but you need or you want to influence into your wardrobe or your lifestyle. The audience that we cater to is a high school and then secondary school audience. And then what happens is, because it's such like it's a cult culture, I want to say, people get really invested in the brands from a lifestyle standpoint, and so it extends that age range all the way up to like 45.
It's kind of like a mix between like skate and like hip hop and sports and maybe a little bit of what you would consider high fashion. It's kind of all that stuff meshed in, because we pull ideas from everywhere when we're coming up with designs.
Our graphics are often satirical, they're definitely witty, and so for us it's all about playing off of like the names, nicknames, like to Grit City and Tacoma Aroma, of course, and anything that has to do with the T-Dome and that sort of thing. And that is really what we hone in on, and what continues to push us in finding those graphics is that we just look deeper and deeper into Tacoma history.
I think it is probably prevalent in other cities as well, but Tacoma, it really stands out because you could even say that 5 or 6 years ago, people didn't really want to wear a t-shirt that said Tacoma on it. You know, people weren't as proud of where they were from as they are now, and we've seen like the emergence of like the Go Tacoma people, that they'll come in here and buy a Tacoma t-shirt or a Tacoma hoodie or whatever. A lot of the stuff says Tacoma on it, and we just try to flip it in like certain ways that makes it a little cooler, so that a younger, like high school kid, you know, would want to actually wear the shirt at school, as opposed to maybe like a 50-year-old who just wants a shirt that says Tacoma on it, because we know that we need to appeal to both crowds.
Now Tacoma, as far as arts go, really blossoming, and that is what we are part of, is the arts culture. So yeah, right now I feel like it's amazing. Everybody wants to do something creative, and so there's like so much to look through as far as, you know, just what fits our aesthetic. All of it's good, most of it is good, pardon me, in our opinion, but it's really about what works for us, where we can plug someone in and know that what they're building as far as their brand or their culture or lifestyle is parallel to what we have going on here.
Well, I did move here from Salt Lake City in 1986, and I fell in love with Tacoma. I absolutely love living here, and I was inspired, just for lack of a better term, the camaraderie of the people that live here and how welcoming and warm and the art scene is. I just wanted to promote Tacoma amongst Tacoma, I guess. I started making shirts, I'd say maybe 10 years ago started, and I'll do one new design each year, go to all the festivals like the 6th Ave Street Fair, you know, the Music in the Park, which is amazing. You kind of have to show up to get one, and when they're gone, they're gone. I think the shirt designs that I do reflect my love for art in general, and I like something that people can take home and wear and that they can be proud of and that they can have a discussion over coffee. I have absolutely no process whatsoever. Just inspiration comes at different times. Whenever it shows up, you just have to grab hold of it. I might write a note on a napkin or have an idea in my head, all about inspiration, and of course living in Tacoma helps with that, and you know, the people here. I love seeing anything that I've done anywhere, especially on a random person who I've never met in a grocery store or, you know, at a local tavern. That makes me pretty happy.
My name's Kareem Candy, and I'm a local jazz artist and educator here in Tacoma, Washington, and I am the director of the Tacoma Jazz Association.
My name is Danny Kolke. I am a jazz musician as well, but also the founder of Jazz Clubs Northwest and partnering with Kareem on Tacoma Jazz Association.
We thought we'd open up with something that we recorded a few years back. My tribute to one of my favorite jazz singers, the late great Dakota Staten. This is called The Late Late Show.
The Tacoma Jazz Association is relatively new, but part of a sister group of organizations that we started. We started a nonprofit organization over 5 years ago called the Boxley Music Fund out of North Bend, Washington, and that's where I live and I'm from. And we have a jazz venue up there that's been supported by that nonprofit for years. We ran into other communities that wanted to do the same thing, it's a member-supported venue. So we started working with somebody up in Bellingham, and then as that model kind of got baked, we started talking to Kareem about, hey, here's how a member-based, member-supported venue works. And so that's what the Tacoma Jazz Association is, where Jazz Clubs Northwest became kind of the umbrella organization to help support and do all the logistics for getting these groups around the Puget Sound.
The mission of the Tacoma Jazz Association is to do a lot of outreach in the community in terms of jazz education, as well as partnering with schools to enhance what they're already doing and providing more outlets for students to study and learn jazz with professionals from all over the Northwest and around the country, world-class musicians. We're also producing concerts and bringing these professional artists to Tacoma to do performances where a lot of times they wouldn't necessarily be able to come. So when we partner with other cities, that allows us to bring the best musicians in the world here to Tacoma at a low cost, and it's also a membership-based nonprofit, which allows them to see the concerts on a regular basis without having to necessarily pay full price every single week.
One thing that's really exciting is the work that we're starting to present of the Tacoma Jazz Walk, because that's going to involve more volunteers and more business owners and collaborating on a really fun event to wander the streets of downtown Tacoma and listening to music, and for all ages. It's a great event.
The educational aspect or component of the Tacoma Jazz Association, it's open to everybody. It's open to all ages, it's open to all abilities. We'll find a place for everybody that wants to learn how to play and be involved in jazz and music at large.
Yeah, one thought on that is when we started working with students, It's kind of an accidental thing. It was like, hey, these kids want to learn how to play, so we started doing student groups with them and started doing performances with them. And the mentorship thing was kind of an accident as well, because we couldn't find enough students to play the right instrument, so we hired a pro to work with the kids. And next thing you know, it's like, hey, these guys are hanging out and they're learning all this stuff, and it became this great mentorship thing. It was kind of an accident. And then over time, we noticed that people would start coming out of the woodwork and say, hey, I used to play piano and I used to play trumpet when I was in high school, and really encouraging that, why stop? You know, pick it up, you know, and start playing again. And it's been really cool to see a lot of adult students start picking up their instruments and playing and performing again. It's been really cool, you know. So all ages, yeah. Speaking to what jazz is and all the other stuff that happens as a result of it, we've seen a huge impact in our community built around experiencing jazz at all ages and performing it at all ages. And it's really a part of our community up in North Bend where we've started it. And I can see that happening down here in Tacoma easy. But you know, it's a great American art form. And not only that, it's an improvised music form. So it teaches all kinds of great other experiences to kids that do it. It teaches them leadership and organizational skills. They're thinking on their feet when they're performing with this group. They're doing public speaking, announcing their tunes, announcing the band. You know, they're booking gigs. I mean, all the stuff that I see my kids do around town now, all that stuff that teaches them leadership and independence and self-confidence and teamwork, that's all part of this art form too. It's a great American art form. And it's exciting to see it grow, you know, and continuing to grow. And it'd be great for it to get a little bit more attention, but, you know, we'll keep doing it.
My name's Asia and I'm from Tacoma. I went to school at Tacoma School of the Arts. I am an artist. I'm mostly a painter, but I also like to experiment in sculpture and installation, even things like basket making and clay work. My work really focuses on images of nature, and I find that they're very Northwest specific images of nature, so lots of rain and light and sort of fog and clouded imagery. I feel like my native heritage is part of why I'm so drawn to natural imagery, and there's sort of a search for order and messages in nature in my work, and I think that in some ways that does reflect my personal experience as a native individual. 1120 Creative House is a Spaceworks Tacoma project. So they took an empty building and filled it with really wonderful artist studios using palettes and really kind of building out the space in a unique way. The great thing about my studio in particular is I have this great view of downtown Tacoma. So I think that's another way that this place in particular really makes me feel connected to the Tacoma community. So I get to see all these amazing buildings from different time periods, sort of watch people walk by and get a real sense of even just the way the weather has changed and the light that's been an important part of the studio for me.
My name is Bradley Castillo. My art form is, I used to be a graffiti writer, but now I'm a small business owner here in Tacoma. We specialize in bringing street art to a consumer level medium. We do that by taking graffiti writers and giving them a limited run and selling that to the general public. Well, we do t-shirts mostly, but we also do jackets, Letterman jackets, we do bomber jackets. We do a little bit of embroidery and some leggings for the girls. Our target market is of course younger people that are into the hip hop community or that are into breakdancing, DJing, and so on and so on. But as far as the artists, they bring their own crowd. So graffiti artist that also does contemporary art will bring that crowd with them, and they'll buy the shirts as well. The anonymous part of graffiti that we try to stick to is that graffiti is an illegal art form, and that's what makes our t-shirts desirable. The illegal artist that does the illegal art form that is going to be painted over and gone forever is now collectible. And the way that we find these artists is we reach out to them via social media if they have them, or we find them through word of mouth because they're anonymous people that don't really want to be found. So it's kind of difficult at times, but we make it happen. The aesthetic for the company is pretty simple. We're in it for the artist. The artists benefit from it by turning their art, which would normally not make them any money, to something that makes them a little bit of change. I do call it my business because I own it, but it's really graffiti's business. Wherever the culture goes, it'll bring us with it. We're not in control at this point. Oh, the apparel community here in Tacoma is great. You know, everybody's pretty friendly. It's not treated as a competition. Everybody kind of has their own place. But I think what I like most about it is that the community is like strong knit. You know, everybody knows each other and everybody kind of cheers each other on. There's no real hard feelings between anybody. Oh man, why Tacoma? Well, I'm born and raised here. My dad was born here, and it's been an ongoing, relationship between me and the city. Whether it was back when I was writing graffiti on my own, or just back to the roots of high school and, making your own network. It's just home. Tacoma's home.
Theater instills such a wonderful set of disciplines upon students. They learn how to work with others regardless of their background, where they came from. They learn how to work under stress. They learn how to stand up in front of a group of people and articulate themselves.
They can come into here and not be afraid to be who they are. And they maybe come in here and they don't want to sing a song, they don't want to stand up. And through the process of learning with the staff and the whole program, they become more confident in themselves, and then they go out to their schools and their classes and they really show that they've grown. And it's really fun for me to watch a child come in and not be very confident with themselves, and then next thing I know, they're standing up on stage belting out a solo full of confidence and talent.
Everything today is thoroughly modern. Everything today makes yesterday slow.
There are a lot of life skills that come from theater, and that's actually something that we've been working with our students. Looking at emotions and the power of emotions, and of course those are directly relevant on stage with your character and your scene, but it also is an interplay of emotion between the real human being who's on stage working with their scene partner and what they're bringing, and then how we work with each other outside of those moments as we're learning and collaborating together. Collaboration's a huge skill that students learn. Empathy is another one. We talk about that a lot.
You have made the team, Miss Dillmount.
Tell me where my desk is when we...
The other thing that I think students come away from the arts with is just feeling like there's another place that they can call home. There's a type of bonding that happens that's really unique to just that experience, and those relationships last forever and ever.
Take that. Oh, right? Okay, and then she's gonna do the other side. And that. Oh, right, so it's super phony.
Not only are we teaching theater skills here, how to be the best actor you can be, and how to work in technical aspects of theater, or how to break down a script, or things of this nature, theater skills, but we're also teaching a lot of really important life skills. How to collaborate with other people, how to be adaptable, how to be responsible, how to have great self-esteem, and how, very importantly, how to have empathy for the people around you. As an actor, you need to have empathy for your character, but you also need to have empathy for your fellow co-creators so you can have the best possible outcome. We really strive to have great collaboration here, and that's what we're trying to teach kids, is how to be responsible for themselves, how to collaborate, how to have empathy, and develop a great sense of self-esteem in that process.
8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Our education program caters to all ages, but for the most part, we focus primarily on elementary through high school education.
Left, right, and hop.
With our after-school program, we take the 3 different genres of theater. We do a classical piece, a contemporary piece, and a musical for the after-school, so students can pick which one they'd like to be a part of. And then during the summer, when we have more time to spend with the students, we really emphasize the different aspects of acting, dancing, singing, and technical work.
Shift, shift.
Many of the things that happen on stage on the sets are done by the students on either a paint day or a build day, where they learn about all those great things that happen in theater.
Woo! Good. Do you need to do it again, or you feel solid?
2 of our outstanding programs are the Broadway Center Conservatory.
Isaiah and Michaela, let's go.
The conservatory consists of summer programs, after-school programs, and artist residencies. The other program is our Education Matinee Series, and we serve about 12,000 students a year through that program.
Tableau, please take your places.
We usually bring in shows that are connected to book titles or cultural themes, or really fun shows about science.
So let's go from the top of On the Street.
Christmas bells are ringing.
We offer programs year-round. Our particular focus is to teach students the skills to excel and appreciate musical theater, so that's kind of what we mainly focus on. And we also teach students to appreciate theater, and we hope that they become patrons of the arts for future generations, or performers, whichever that they would like to do.
1, 2, 3.
Here at Tacoma Youth Theater, we offer both summer camps, school break camps, and a very popular after-school program. Our after-school program is structured on a pay-what-you-can basis.
On guard.
So it's accessible to everyone in this city, and those who can't pay a full tuition will make up the difference in ticket sales through a ticket sale fundraiser that we do for every show. So it's a great program for all kids.
Left, right, stop.
When students are exposed to theater, they take away such a wonderful feeling of accomplishment, understanding that they are important and that everything has a reason. They will walk out of here with a better understanding of how life works, how they can be friends with anybody regardless of the socioeconomic background they come from.
Everything today is thoroughly modern.
Check your personality.
All the kids have that moment of awe and wonder,
And face reality.
and what makes that so special is that they've walked through those doors, and so it kind of breaks down that barrier that it's a separate place that's only for certain people, so they know that it's always a place that they can be and they can explore.
We want to celebrate the wonderful uniqueness that is every child and have that translate to the stage. We are more concerned with a process that empowers children rather than a process that creates an amazing show. Paradoxically, when we do that, we have an amazing show because we are empowering the kids to make it their own. And that's what makes it truly amazing.
Keep the energy.
Every time I watch one of these student shows that we do and the kids come out for curtain call, I burst into tears. It's completely uncontrollable. I have no way. So I hide in the corner because I become a sobbing mess. But there's something about that is so powerful, I think, where the kids are stepping into themselves, they're stepping into a sense of confidence, collaboration, and joy. That is palpable, and it just knocks me out every time.